30 years. 30 years ago, this came out. My God, we're old. Hey movie junkies, welcome back to Twin Flicks. We're always here celebrating the magic of movies and physical media with you. Well, I'm wearing my NASA shirt again, so you know what that means. We're doing another sci-fi movie, this time with David Twohy's 1996 sci-fi film, The Arrival. And the film has finally broken free from its clutches, from its home video curse, with years of us fans having to suffer through notorious flat, muddy, compressed DVDs, and then the 2009 Blu-ray and its reissued Blu-rays that honestly looked no better. It looked like it was just poured over from the DVD. It's a mess. Well, now to celebrate the film's 30th anniversary, 30 years. 30 years ago, this came out. My God, we're old. Lionsgate has put right with what once went wrong, giving The Arrival the royal 4K treatment it deserves, with a 4K UHD presentation under the Vestron Video Collector's label. Now, one thing about this release is that it is only available on Lionsgate Limited website. They are not making it available from any kind of third-party distributor. You can't find it on Amazon or Walmart. The Arrival comes at us with a new 4K scan of the original 35mm negative, forming a 4K DI with HDR10 Dolby Vision grading, and preserving its theatrical ratio of 1:8:5:1 when the 2009 Blu-ray was framed wrong. And you'll see what I mean in the review. Also, I found out that an original theatrical print was used as reference to ensure color accuracy. There's also a new Dolby Atmos mix that we're definitely going to get into, and the restoration and color grading was supervised and approved by director David Twohy. Alright guys, well let's dive in and take a closer look at Lionsgate's new 4K UHD presentation of The Arrival against their 2009 Blu-ray, and let's see if this 4K is really worth the upgrade. This is an insane 4K scan where this little low-budget 90s sci-fi film has finally been given the release that it highly deserves with a premium boutique treatment, and is a night and day difference here against the 2009 Blu-ray that was widely criticized for its washed out muddy imagery and even wrong framing with the aspect ratio. The 4K scan has revitalized the film across the board. The remastered Blu-ray that's included is also sourced from the 4K scan, except the UHD disc truly excels here with the heavy nuanced HDR10 and Dolby Vision grading, especially when it comes to the film's various lighting design, diffusion filters, shifting between bright, scorched desert exteriors and moody, shadow-drenched facility interiors. The HDR10 Dolby Vision grading widens the dynamic range and color gamut to give a much better dense, organic palette that remains deeply faithful to the film's 35mm theatrical roots. There are also sterile colors of interiors, such as in stations and labs, with steely blues and cold cyans or greens, and the Mexico exterior sequences that's bathed in deep sweltering earthy tones, oranges, yellows. It looks naturally sun-worn rather than artificially sunburnt or flushed as it does on a 2009 Blu-ray. It is incredibly stable and very active, that has outstanding tangibility. Saturation has been elevated that's controlled and tasteful, and never appearing artificially applied or overly hot. The image exudes a pleasant natural warmth across the 4K image that is especially beneficial for skin tones that now looks naturally warmer and reads convincingly lifelike, either with the human cast or even with the CG alien skin tones. Unlike the 2009 Blu-ray, where skin tones lean slightly palish. Contrast has been handled here with considerable care. The HDR10 Dolby Vision grading on the UHD disc widens its dynamic range while maintaining the ideal balance between bright and dark areas, with neither element competing for screen space. And this alleviates the occasional over-darkening that we saw on the 2009 Blu-ray. The better use of contrast also now yields accurate light levels that also improves color timing throughout the film. Specular highlights are another nice improvement here. The artificial light sources are given its authentic look back here with this 4K scan that has a pleasant, punchy boost now. From the flashlight beams down to the metallic reflections of the high-tech instruments, the light beams from the alien sphere and the piercing arrays inside the alien terraforming machine all now has localized higher luminance. This also draws out more details and textures here that were hidden under the blown out highlights on 2009 Blu-ray. For example, you can now visibly see the dust on the back of Charlie Sheen's red shirt, while on the 2009 Blu-ray it's drowned out from the blown out highlights. Now, a lot of this film is shot under dimly lit or dark scenes, where black levels and shadows are crucial for those scenes. The 2009 Blu-ray was a complete mess here, with washed out gray-looking blacks, and dark scenes had a lot of crushing out of detail. Here with the 4K scan, we now have striking black levels that are significantly enhanced by the HDR10 Dolby Vision grading on the UHD disc. However, both the UHD disc or the remastered Blu-ray results in gorgeous, inky, truer-looking blacks and improved depth with stronger shadows. This eliminates the crushed out details and the washed out blacks that plague the 2009 Blu-ray. And this now allows for finer details and textures to really come through the darkness with clear visibility, even within those darkest corners. The strong black levels and deeper shadows is a major improvement here and marks a significant upgrade over the 2009 Blu-ray. The 4K scan delivers a striking amount of texture and detail pulled from the original negative that looks stable and refreshed, which is a night and day difference from the 2009 Blu-ray that had a very flat and soft looking image. It's the UHD disc with a higher 2160p resolution that truly delivers here, a significant increase in texture and detail levels, rendering more lines that are cleaner and finer, giving way to the absolute sharpest and clearest image possible without the use of any AI sharpening tools or manipulative processing done. It's also of note that the 4K scan has cleaned the image while also faithfully preserving the inherent qualities from the production and photography that have been baked into the original negative intact. And while the primitive CG does show the film's age, I did find that the 4K, the CG blends slightly better in with the live action footage. And when these optical and CG shots appear, the image does become naturally softer than the rest of the film. But this is just simply a byproduct of the era of the film and is an inherent limitation of the source material rather than a faulty 4K transfer. The 4K scan retains a natural tight grain structure. Now I will say though that the heavier effect shots, the grain can fluctuate, but it's never muddy or clumpy looking. Instead, the film grain gives the film back its authentic, theatrical 35mm look, reinforcing the movie's original cinematic filmic appearance. Alright guys, let's dive in and take a look at the audio presentation. And Lionsgate provides the Arrival with not one, not two, but 3 audio tracks. But we also have the true treasure here of this 4K, and that is the remixed Dolby Atmos mix, struck from what I was told the original 8-track audio master. This is a very active and aggressive mix that doesn't try to reinvent the mix, but instead only faithfully expands on the film's native mid-90s soundstage, with no modern-day effects added into the mix. Sound effects in the film's score blast constantly and reinforces the environmental scale when compared to the very dated 5.1 mix on a 2009 Blu-ray. The low frequency response is massive, especially during the climate shifting sequences and the activation of the alien devices. And when Charlie Sheen is down in the bowels of the alien terraforming craft, the LFE channel drops into deep chair and room shaking frequencies and anchors the sonic presentation with a solid physical presence, and never feeling overwhelmed as it did on the 2009 Blu-ray. Dialogue is rendered clean and clear, and the film score or sound effects never drowns out the dialogue, even in the heavier action scenes or the quieter moments. This is one of the most impressive and cinematic Atmos mixes I have heard yet. Guys, I'm so happy here that we finally have a great transfer of The Arrival from Lionsgate, who delivers a 4K presentation that is highly impressive and very immersive experience with substantial improvements in both video and audio quality that makes this release a no-brainer. This is an immediate upgrade from any previous Blu-ray you may have, and especially if you're still hanging on to that very dated old DVD. And again, if you don't have a 4K UHD setup, don't worry, because this set includes a remastered Blu-ray sourced from the same 4K scan. So you really have no excuses but to upgrade. Well, now I'm really curious here what you think. So head on over to the comments section and let me know. When you look at the differences here between the two formats, Lionsgate's new 4K against their 2009 Blu-ray, which do you think looks better? Is The Arrival worth upgrading to 4K? Head over to the comments section and let me know. And as always, guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me for a few minutes here as we dive in and take a closer look at The Arrival in 4K UHD. As always, keep physical media alive and stay tuned for more 4K versus Blu-ray comparisons.
Twin Flicks presents 4K versus Blu-ray comparisons.